Hiya, and welcome back to Moonlight Castle, the game that teaches us that when you see something creepy happen, the best course of action is to rotate 360 degrees and run the other direction. If I have to explain that, I'm going to start crying. Anyways, let's just hop right in. For a second. Okay. How do we do this? How do we choose Patrice? I actually think I got it. Stay with the group. I think we can do a lot of skipping. Shit. How do we go for Patrice from here? Oh, okay. I don't think we should let him go alone. I pushed myself to say that because I was worried about the crocodile. Still, I thought it'd be best to avoid spending time alone with him. Therefore, I shot Blake a concerned look. The wolf took a deep breath and then he stood up. Fine, I'll go with him. Liam's bullshit won't ruin my plans. I'm checking the roof no matter what. It quickly became silent again, as the four of us couldn't come up with anything to say. I checked my phone and noticed the lack of service, which was very concerning. Can you guys make phone calls? Promptly, everyone checked their phone and met with the same result I had. Hiya. Weird. I received a message before entering the castle. Hiya. I guess I'd been denied the only form of distraction I had left. Clyde stood up to walk to the middle and then he looked at us. I just remember that castles usually have a library somewhere, and I've always wanted to hold an antique document. May I have an assistant? It seemed even the dragon had an idea of his own exploration too. He tried to sound excited, but matching enthusiasm wasn't found in his voice. Truly, he was still worried about Liam, and he couldn't come up with any other way to cope with it. And here it is. Patrice, baby. All of us were quiet. It seemed nobody wanted to accompany Clyde, and that kind of hurt me too. It was too bad that books weren't my thing, otherwise I would have gone with the dragon. I gave Ryan a nudge with my leg, hoping he'd take the hint. If I had to say it out loud, that would look really bad, wouldn't it? Well, I guess I can help you? His voice sounded just as fake as Clyde's. You're big and tall. Surely you can help me. Hole really said fuck Clyde. Just like, Clyde's all like, you're a big, strong man. Hopefully you can help me. This is the life I've chosen. If we need to reach for an item above us, your assistance will surely be required. Ryan pretended to look happy as he nodded at Clyde, and then slowly the dragon made his way into one of the hallways. Before following the dragon, the bear gave me a quick look with an expression I wouldn't call sweet. Just this one time, okay? Bless your heart. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Joel. Joel. What the fuck is wrong with you? You volunteered Ryan. You volunteered Ryan to go be a big strong man with Clyde, and then you straight up call him a dumbass to his face. Damn. In case you don't know, where I grew up, and in various other parts of the United States, this is an insult. Bless your heart is an insult. Patrice was trying to hold back a snort, and he stopped trying as soon as the two disappeared from our sight. Damn! Damn! You like taking charge, huh? Depends. Usually I like to wait for someone to move first, and then I follow it up with what I see fit. However, it makes me anxious when nobody makes the first move. Interesting. I thought people were less decisive under pressure, but it seems the opposite is true for you. He didn't have to be like Blake and analyze me like that. I didn't need to be explained how I worked, as it do nothing but fluster me always. I'm sorry, but it caught me off guard. R.I.P. your tongue. Cats, just R.I.P. your tongue because he is a feline. He got a rough tongue. So, no. No, that's not a youch. That's a, oh god, why did I make this decision? Anyway, how are you holding up? You should look at my tail. It's not moving at all. Completely paralyzed. I'm suffering, clearly. He didn't look scared, though. In fact, I kind of expected him to be doing way worse. I frowned at him, confused about his current appearance. What? A man can pretend he's fine. I so bad just want to give him the voice. I'm not going to. Then his facade was promptly destroyed by a lightning and the sky's roar that came afterward. Patrice? I blinked and I closed my eyes for only 2 seconds, but when I looked again, he was already gone. I turned around to look further, and that was when I saw him curling like an infant on the floor. This is fine! Yup, everything is good! I sat next to him to get a better look, and I didn't think I needed to ask him again. He was definitely scared of this place. Everything is going to be okay. We can wait for them here. Gently, I patted the tiger's back. The poor feline was shaking like a leaf. Though slowly, upon my touch, his body began to settle down. His fur becoming less spiky, his tail relaxed, and his breath well drawn.
Oh, yeah. That feels good. Can you scratch the spot a little on the left?
No. Bummer. Then the tiger stretched and sat up properly. He looked at the outside and the distance through the open doors. I figured that he'd definitely stay out there if the rain didn't fall on him. What's our plan? I don't know. The phone is dead, exploring the castle is basically a death wish, and the rain is preventing me from running back to the car. I hate it here. Are you absolutely positive that you don't want to look around? Dude! You shouldn't have to ask me. It's an old empty castle, what are you afraid of? It's just the two of us. I could understand being worried if you were with Liam, but you're with me. I just don't feel safe, okay? Couldn't we, like, wait for the sun to come up? That'd be way better! I don't think we'll return here a second time. This is probably our last chance to find something interesting. I watched Patrice's face exhibit the tiger's internal struggles. The feline did show some interest, however, fear was really holding him back. Are you heavy? What do you mean? He took a deep breath and leaned himself over to me. And he was way too close than he should. The concept of personal space was definitely foreign to him. Why did you... And then he proceeded to lift me as he stood up, all without warning. What? Put me down! First it was Ryan, and now the tiger was treating me like some groceries too. Did he really just try to check how hard it was to carry me? Shit, you're quite easy to carry. And did he really sound disappointed just now? So what if I was easy to carry? He really rubbed me the wrong way there. I'm going to bite! Wait, no, I want to do that in deadpan voice. I'm going to bite you if you don't let go of me right now. You want a piece of me? Just... shut up. Soon after that, Patrice put me down, on my feet, and I held back the urge to kick him right in the spot. Kick him in the nuts. Don't be mad. I did all that to convince myself that it's okay to look around with you. What did that have to do with looking around, though? Fine. I'll forgive you if we leave this area now. On one condition. You either agree to it or dive alone into the unknown. I rolled my eyes. Although I was disappointed, I had to cave in. It wasn't like I could force him to come with me anyway. And I didn't like the idea of venturing into the depths of the castle by myself either. If anything, and I mean
Anything.
weird happens, I'm bolting. I'll pick you up and run like a cheetah. And if you refuse to be picked up, I'll just ditch you right there. Like, anything at all? Do I at least get a chance to rationally explain that thing to you before you lose your mind? Look, I'm trying to compromise here. I'm scared and you don't even let me get close to you, let alone cling for moral support. I never said that I don't allow you to come closer. Patrice took a step toward me and I moved away. See? How should I read that then? I'm not stopping you from getting closer, I'm just moving myself away. You're not funny, I need your help to do this. Either allow me in your personal space or sit here and watch the rain. What happens if I agree to let you in? Then I'll be wrapping myself around you the whole time like a snake, but the snake isn't trying to kill you and nothing can drag you away. I tried imagining that and realized I'd doomed myself with that image. Rather quickly, I became flustered and I covered part of my face with my hat. God damn it! I'm waiting. He was humming. He probably knew that he'd won me over, so I just nodded against my better judgment. Cool. Let's go outside and take a walk. It's still... Huh? Confusedly, I watched him pull a small umbrella out of his jacket. Where the fuck did he have an umbrella? And how? I have a question for visual novel developers. I have a question for you guys. Do not take this the wrong way. I have a genuine question. Are these characters fucking Kirby? Are they the little pink Nintendo character Kirby? Because they have infinite pockets. Where do they buy their pants, actually? That's a better question. Where do they buy their pants? Because those pockets must be fucking deeper than the fucking Mariana Trench or some shit. His pockets must be deeper than the goddamn Mariana Trench. And his arms can just stretch down there and grab the fucking umbrella. Or it's in his pocket. Or it's in his jacket. Is his jacket a fucking... Is his jacket a fucking liminal space? Like, if I were to go into his jacket, like, if I were to place my head into his jacket pocket, would I watch a circus act?
Not Patrice is secretly Mary Poppins and pulled the umbrella out of his own ass.
I'm pretty sure we would have noticed it, though. Fucker clearly maxed out his basket weaving. Like I said, do not take that with offense. Please. Do you think that umbrella is a key item? Son of a bitch. Confusedly, I watched him pull a small umbrella out of his jacket. Why do you have that? This isn't mine, I didn't bring one. I took this from Liam before he left with Russell. Fucker's a klepto! Fucker's a kleptomaniac! You do anything to avoid checking the castle, huh?
Fantasy logic, don't think about it. Also same for Glory Hound with the Ahab sent comic book logic, don't think about it.
So just don't think about it. Okay, I'm not gonna think about it. Listen, I'm being nice. You had this umbrella the whole time, yet I stayed. I just didn't want to leave you alone. So you instead got me to agree to leave this place with you. His face said it all. That was his plan all along, truly. I had a feeling it wouldn't work, but knowing you, I thought I should probably give it a go anyway. Don't you think so, too? It can't go with you, and I can't go with you and leave everyone behind like this. We have to regroup here, or they're going to waste time looking for us while we're in the van. Yeah, I saw that one coming.
I wonder if I were to unzip his pants, his dick would be big as a meteor, comet.
Hey, yo! Yeah, I saw that one coming. If you really don't want to leave the lounge, then I suppose it's fine. I don't want to force you. Patrice sighed and then headed toward the doors while using the umbrella. There's something else we can check. I didn't want to say, but, well, I don't want to hold you back. Outside, what did you see?
Patrice Poppins.
Patrice Poppins. There's another building behind the castle. It's not as big, and honestly, I think that'll be easier to manage for my heart. Let's give it a shot. The tiger extended his hand so that I could grab it. Sure, I'll take that. I took his paw and, sharing the umbrella, we left the castle to find the place he mentioned. The rain showed no signs of slowing down. We had to squeeze each other in order to avoid getting wet. He was holding the umbrella with one hand while his other hand was wrapped around my body to keep me safe and secure under our shade. This isn't time for sightseeing. Get in! Patrice shoved me into the small building and closed the umbrella, and while he was busy adjusting himself, I couldn't help staring at the castle's structure through the doorframe. I was curious to see how the place looked from the outside, and I just wanted to get a better view of that before we headed in. The umbrella was completely soaked, so we left it to dry at the entrance of the small building as we made our way further in. I'm pretty sure this is a chapel. The tiger shuddered as if trying to shake water off himself. Even though he didn't seem to be wet, maybe it was instinct. Moving my eyes off him, I turned around to explore our surroundings. The darkness was limiting our vision, however soon afterward we got the place figured out. Looks like a church. Time to pray to Noche, our Lord and Savior. We gotta pray to Noche from Roads Yet Traveled, our Lord and Savior. Patrice approached me from behind and touched my shoulders. I was about to complain, but the subtle shivers that his hands were having helped me realize that he was nervous. Yeah, a fairly big one, too. I see. Cool. I knew we'd made a deal, and I also knew that he wouldn't stop me from moving forward. I knew that he'd follow me regardless, yet I was hesitant to keep going. We're not in a rush. I said that to get his attention. Let's sit down on one of the pews. What do you mean? I thought you... I sat on a pew near the door, and I made sure to leave enough room for him to join as well. You should want that, right? I looked at him, and he was still standing where he was before. It's okay. You've shown me this place, and it looks awesome. I know what you're doing. Of course he did. I was trying to be obvious anyway. What am I doing? I'm sitting here, waiting for someone to join me. There was silence for a moment. Thank you, but I have to say no. The turn down wasn't the only thing that surprised me. He dragged away from the pew and placed me back on my feet. Why? The tiger took my hands and held them. He remained silent for a moment long enough that both of us could feel the uncontrollable shake that he was having. Please, don't let my fear change your mind. I just wanted you to feel okay. Trust me that I'm okay. Just stay close to me and talk to me. That's all I need. Alright. Stay behind me and hold my shoulders. I'll walk in front of you. I felt proud for once. Someone needed me. Someone needed my help and nobody else could help them. His shaky touch was a clear sign that he was trying to fight his demons, and my help was well used. I kept walking and I didn't look back. I believe that not seeing each other's faces was the wisest choice for the two of us. Our reasons might be different, but our goals were the same. The deeper we went into the building, the clearer it became that this place was meant to be a spot for worshipping a god. It was very straightforward, and there was nothing unusual that I noticed. Oh, hiya! What was that? I could hear his breathing become faster as he dragged me closer to himself. I didn't fight it, and it would have been difficult to fight it. Especially when I knew he needed me, and he was on the verge of hyperventilating. A branch hit the window. Are you sure? What if we're not alone? We're alone. I'm sure. Breathe and try to keep it under control. Take your time. I know you can do it. Okay. Okay. Gently, I caressed his paws, trying to give him extra comfort. That's it. You're doing great. This is hard. My heart is going wild. Let's talk about something then. It'll make a good distraction to relieve your stress. I can't think of anything right now. We're in a church, so maybe let's talk about religion? I'm an atheist. Oh, same. Wait, what? I knew that he wasn't exactly in his right mind to elaborate right now, but I wanted to hear more regardless. I've never really thought much about faith or belief. They tend to just fall in the back of my life. My daily routine has kept me busy, and I haven't exactly taken the time to figure them out. I would have loved to explore them, however my family has ruined it. Oh, so you're not an atheist because you're gay? Don't even get me started on how people want to cure my homosexuality just because some god said it was an illness. It's surreal that I had to fight so much just to be myself. Hang on, I'm gonna hydrate. Hold up! Hold the fuck up. Is that snow? Fuck. It's snowing. Damn it! The more he spoke about that, the angrier his tone became. I wondered if that was a good thing. He seemed less scared now, but his mood probably hasn't improved. Is that why you believe there's no God? Is that why you're an atheist? It's actually mostly because of my family being overly attached to those beliefs and how they were forcing me to go along. They'd constantly shove it down my throat so much that it killed my interest in learning about their God. Put some on screen. No. Okay. Real quick, I just want to say this. For any people who are... For any member of the LGBT community who believes that you are sick, that you are ill, because someone said that their God said that you are, I just want to say, you're not. I have had my own personal experience with feeling shame about who I am. So, yeah. You're not sick. Live your truth. Live your truth. If we put aside all of those, though, do you believe that gods exist? Yes, religion is your choice. No. If an almighty being with goodwill really existed, this world wouldn't be as bad as it is right now. They say that he's watching us, but that's all he does! He's kind of useless if you ask me. I think there's something out there. Maybe I'll never know. Maybe I won't know until it's too late. Well, it'd better stay that way, I guess. Be sure to come back and tell me. If I really come back from the other world, you'll definitely be running away before I can say anything. Of course I will! You're basically a zombie! You should be happy to see me again! Finally! Now I see why you keep reminding me about the importance of personal space. Please be sure to stay out of mine if you come back. Very convenient. I'm glad you're feeling well enough now to be such a smartass. He froze for a moment. What I just said must have reminded him that we were still in a spooky place and surrounded by darkness. I wasn't paying attention? That's good. Just let me do my thing, I'll take care of everything. He didn't say anything further, and I felt that his hands were getting warmer ever so slightly, whilst he was pushing the top of his head against my back for some reason. Are you okay? I'm here with you. There's nothing to worry about. What you just said was really sweet. Thanks. Although I couldn't see him, I wondered if I'd touched a weak spot by mistake. The tone in which he was saying that kind of made me happy. We reached the altar. It was a place where a priest would usually stand to give long spiels. It was quite difficult to see things on the wall, so I pulled out my phone and turned on its flashlight to aid my vision. He's so uwu-coded. He is. Patrice was, still, holding onto my shoulders, and there were no complaints from me. I don't really want to get into my experience with religion. But all I'm going to say is, it did not help. Like, with some of the shit that I was going through at the time, it did not help. Patrice was still holding onto my shoulders, and there were no complaints from me. His shaking slowly began to subside, and there was a big improvement, although it was still there. I couldn't help thinking that he probably looked insanely cute right now, if only I could see that. He should really show more of his soft side. There wasn't really a need for him to inflate his personality for me at all. We searched the back of the altar and found something that I didn't expect to see again. It was a cleaver, just lying there on a surface, and acting like an offering. Unlike Liam's cleaver, this one was old and well eroded by time. Its blade was dull, however with enough strength, one would still be able to make it work with a good swing. It kind of bothered me how its look and design resembled the one Liam had. I couldn't forget it was still very fresh in my mind. Is everything okay? You've been staring at it for a while now. Sorry, I zoned out. I was just wondering why this knife matches Liam's. Does that mean he came here already? That's a possibility, but we won't know for sure unless we ask him. Should we take the knife with us? We got a yes, another yes. Hang on. I'm gonna make a poll. Why are you angry? Okay, I'm making a poll. New poll. Hang on. I'm doing this. Alright. The poll has been created. I'm just trying to think logically, you know? I'm just trying to think logically. Because logic dictates, don't fucking take the knife. I was about to block that. I was about to say no to that. Okay, I guess we're taking the knife. I reached my hand out for the broken knife and took it. An open blade, unsupervised, seemed really dangerous. I thought it wouldn't be wise to leave it here. I'm just going to assume that it's a key item. Besides, I had to make sure that nobody else could take it. With this in my possession, Liam was bound to tell me the truth. Honestly, I think you should get rid of that. It's not worth the hassle of keeping it. Maybe. Spoilers are worse things than a knife. Yeah, there are worse things than a knife. For now, though, it stays in my bag. I didn't know why, but something was telling me that I'd be safer with it. Maybe the place was giving me weird thoughts. Maybe it was just a voice in my head. Maybe it was Patrice's rebellious mindset rubbing off on me. Are we done? Is there anything else you want to look for? Patrice must be close to his limit, and I was confident that he was trying his best. I wanted to check the 2 doors on the side, but I knew that he wouldn't let me. We're done. Let's head back to... And we're cursed. My sentence was cut off by a sudden burst of pain in the back of my head. It made me lose my balance and drop myself on my knees. Patrice was talking to me, but I couldn't hear his words. It felt like as if I was drowning in an ocean of noise. My vision became blurred, and I tried to squint at the tiger and our surroundings. However, for some reason, my eyes wouldn't stop looking at the altar. I saw weird shapes dancing around the table. They almost looked like moving shadows. My view distorted, my head getting numb, and I closed my eyes. Hey, Joel! Snap out of it! I opened my eyes again. It had been less than a minute. What happened? I don't know, you tell me! The headache was gone. It left me as fast as it struck me. That was a weird experience. I didn't think that's how a migraine was supposed to behave. Shadows. Did you see them? I pointed my finger at the back of the altar, however, neither of us saw anything there. Whatever there was, it was gone. No! We're getting out! Now! Hastily, Patrice dragged me toward the entrance. I should have predicted this. Wait, it must have been the headache. It was probably my hallucination, really. Desperately, I tried to find excuses to salvage our exploration. It could be, but I'm still very much creeped out and exhausted. We left the We left the place promptly after that. The tiger made a long exhale as he picked up the umbrella. I know I'm not the best person suited for this, but if you want to talk about it, I'm willing to lend an ear later. Really? Sure, only after we're out of here, though. Enough of this cursed place, I'm going to cry! You will? I have tears, and I'm not afraid to use them! Well, at least not around you. That is an amazing line. I didn't think that I'd be flustered by the thoughts of seeing someone cry before, and those thoughts were giving me feelings that were quite messy to describe. I paused briefly to look at the sky. Oh. Hearing me, the tiger then looked as well. The rain is gone. How unfortunate. Sharing the umbrella was my favorite part. You really are shameless. What? I'm just being honest. And with that, we decided to leave the area and walk back to the castle. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, coming after you. Gonna solve our mystery. As we made our way out to the entrance of the castle, we found Dylan heading out the doors. Looked like he was grumbling with annoyance. And then he just shuffled past us, as if refusing to acknowledge either of our presences. Soon, everyone else came out of the castle, and they were all looking at us. Oh boy, I know that face. I don't even want to meddle with that. Blake was the first to greet us, and it seemed everyone was concerned about our well-being. Did you guys stay out in the rain? I wish Joel took care of that. Didn't take long until I was harassed by Ryan's overprotectiveness. The bear rushed to me and began giving words, and I didn't get a chance to do anything. We've been waiting for you for a while now. I was so worried. What happened? Did we take too long? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make everyone wait. I was this close to getting everyone to search the entire castle for you. I wouldn't have stopped until every little stone was turned. Even if I had to tear down the place brick by brick, I'd have kept looking until I could find you. Thank goodness that you didn't have to. We were outside the whole time. Is it just me? Or does Ryan sound like a mother hen just now? He's acting like he's a father rather than a friend.
Nah, the guy just has daddy issues.
Russell gave Liam a firm nudge from behind.
It's fine. He didn't hear that.
Just say your thing so that we can head back to our car. Dylan has already gone ahead.
All right. I have an announcement to make tomorrow. I'm sure that everyone here would like to know the truth about the castle, so I'm asking all of you to join me for lunch again one last time. Is that cool?
It doesn't have to be the last time, does it? Just leave it be. All of us walked back to our car, and for the entire way back, Ryan was acting like a bodyguard, splitting Patrice and me. I believe that this was something that I might have to address later. Ryan's eyes were glued to Patrice and me. Surely the bear was struggling to give us some space. Don't worry, you have my phone number. Just text me whenever you feel like it. Sure, I will. I couldn't stop thinking about the church or Patrice. However, I figured that neither of those would be a good topic to bring up right now. How was your trip with Clyde, Ryan? It was fun. We found a greenhouse. Our conversation was cut short as the bear needed to keep his eyes on the road. However, it seemed he was happy that he got my attention away from the tiger. Fuckers a yandere. Spent the majority of the ride staring out the car's window. And before we knew it, we'd already arrived at the shop. Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow. Good night, Joel. Take care. One after another, all of us parted ways. It was only Ryan and me left. We got out of the van and got into Ryan's car so that the bear could drive me home, as always. Hey, sorry I was being nosy. Oh, yeah, maybe a little. I shouldn't have done that. It was funny, though. I felt overwhelmed. Well, at least I'm feeling better now. If you got your eyes on Patrice, then you should go for it. I just looked through the windshield, staring ahead, eyes wide opened. I wasn't sure if the bear was serious, and I couldn't look at him. What are you saying? He's just a friend. I don't know if I have feelings even for anyone yet. Please stop talking to me about romance. The topic is still a struggle for you, huh? That you'd already given it more thoughts than come up with a clear image. My bad. I won't bring it up again. He parked the car near my apartment and helped me get out of it. Love, to me, is just a tricky subject. I didn't mean to lash out. I'll be the one to tell you if anything changes, okay? Of course. I'm always here for you. Just give me the word and I'll be there. You also have my number. You're so jealous. No, I'm not. Good night. Thanks for the ride. Don't mention it. Rest well. I waved at him with a smile and watched him drive off. That night, I stayed up late thinking about our little adventure. Most of my thoughts were about Patrice, and I was smiling like an idiot for quite a while. I was badly looking forward to seeing him again and learning about the missing bits. Never before had I felt this eager to go to school on the next day. Somehow sleep managed to find its way to catch up to me, and I dropped into slumber while holding my phone like a fool. Day 3. Just cracking back. In spite of that, I just stared into nothingness, allowing the memories to flood my brain. The headache I had back at the altar, just thinking about it was enough to make me feel dizzy. Those shadows and the sensation they gave me. It was as if they were trying to tell me something that I should do. Though they merely had to just be some sort of hallucination, since Patrice couldn't see them. Surely he didn't see anything, otherwise he'd have run away much earlier than when he actually did. Now that I'd rested, maybe it was time to analyze again what I'd felt then, with my head cleared. I got up from my bed. I realized, slowly, that something or someone there wanted me to take the knife. I don't know why I thought that was the case, but it was a conclusion that I had. I looked at my bag. It was still on the same table that I left it on last night. Thinking about taking another look at the strange thing, I moved myself to the table and unzipped the bag. After a little bit of digging, I pulled out the bladed weapon, expecting it to be rusty. What? My hands trembled as I held the knife. I was sure that its handle was broken when I found it, but now there was no sign of damage, and the erosion was gone too. This proved that there was definitely something off about the item. Liam owned the exact same knife. Maybe I could find him to get answers. Then my phone suddenly made a buzz and it scared the living daylights out of me. I knew who it was that was calling me, however I was on edge and the timing couldn't be worse. Heaving a sigh, I answered the phone. Hello? Morning! Are you ready to go? I'm on my way. Can I take a shower first? I haven't gotten the chance to do that yet. Why are you asking me, you dummy? Just go! I smiled. The bear was still as dorky as I knew him. I shoved the knife back into my bag and hastily prepared myself for a warm shower. It hit me that Patrice probably shouldn't learn anything more about the item. I didn't think that any of us should traumatize the tiger any further. The trip we had yesterday must have already been tough for him. Speaking of which, I should probably text him. Stepping out of the shower, I grabbed my phone as I dried my fur. Hey, morning, how are you, Patrice? There wasn't a response. Well, it wasn't like any sane person would be on their phone all the time anyway. I put my phone on the counter and figured that I'd check later. Minutes had passed and I'd finished both drying my fur and dressing up myself. Picked up the phone and it seemed that Patrice still hadn't responded to my text. In fact, he hadn't even read it yet. Kind of bothered me a little. However, I thought that it could be that he was simply still asleep and there shouldn't be anything to worry about. I took my bag and left the apartment. Coming out of the building, I could see that Ryan had been waiting for me for a while now. Never liked to make people wait, so to make up for that, I charged him at full speed before he could even give me a greeting. Morning, I'm here, Missed a step and flew right toward the car. Luckily, the car's door had already been opened, so I landed on a soft seat inside it. Unluckily, however, I was overshot and the seat I landed on was Ryan's, or rather, I landed on him on the driver's seat. You stupid beagle, what did I tell you about being reckless? I looked at his face with a pair of shaky so-called beagle's eyes and said nothing. Seeing them, the bear sighed. At least I'm glad that you didn't get hurt, and it seems whatever happened to you yesterday didn't carry over either. That's relief. Oh, god damn it, I just had an idea. I just had a fucking idea. I just had a horrible fucking idea, and I gotta make it now. Hang on. I got a screenshot a couple times. It's not a redeem. At least I'm glad you didn't get hurt, and it seems whatever happened to you yesterday didn't carry over either. That's relief. I moved myself into my proper seat before I responded. Did Patrice tell you about it already? Ryan nodded as he started the car and began driving. Yeah, thank you for keeping an eye on him and helping him out with this problem. Do you happen to know if he's still asleep? Confusedly, the bear raised a brow at me and then turned his face to look at the time. No, why would he be sleeping? I felt like an idiot. Maybe my worries were really over nothing. The thing is, I texted him earlier and it looks like he hasn't been online since yesterday. So I thought that because yesterday was pretty rough for him, maybe he's sleeping in. He's not answering texts, huh? Through his face, I watched the bear grind his thoughts with the gears in his head in order to produce an answer. What day is today? It's Wednesday. Oh, right! I guess I meant the day was significant then. If I remember correctly, Patrice meets up with his therapist twice a week, and when he does, he tends to avoid talking with people. Ooh, it's only that, huh? That's a relief. Don't mind him. I'm sure he wanted to tell you, but it probably slipped his mind. Do you know the reason he doesn't talk with people when seeing his therapist? Not sure. I think he's explained it to me once, but I forgot what it is. Let me think. The bear stopped himself as he was about to speak, and he kept doing that quite a few times. I could tell that he was really struggling to recall the exact details. I think he said something about wanting to concentrate and not losing his memories. Though, honestly, when I put it like that, it sounds really weird. Maybe you should ask him. I shook my head and tugged my hat down so that it covered part of my eyes. I don't think I should. I get it. You're concerned about him, though. I don't think you should worry. I'm sure that he'll eventually tell you about it himself. After all, it doesn't take a genius to see that he likes you. Hearing that made me curious enough to remove the hat and ask the bear. Does he? It appears to me that he just likes everyone. It's really hard to tell. Everyone? What about Liam? That's not a fair question. Actually, it's more like not even a question. Of course not, nobody likes him. The point is that hey, I like him! The point is that even Patrice doesn't like everyone. Okay, I guess I'll have to figure things out then, especially myself. You're figuring out something about yourself? And now I was the one who's stumbling over words. It's kind of difficult to say. Don't ask, I don't even know if I can put it into words. What about... I shushed the bear before he could say anything funny.
I said I don't know. You're making me conscious.
Alright, enough about this. I was just trying to think about it. I didn't mean to stress you out. I know, I'm sorry. It's just that I don't think that I'm ready to go that far yet. There's already too much going on after all. Okay, so you know that time? So you know that meme?
It's time to drink water.
Okay, so like, you know that meme?
It's time to drink water.
Where it's like,
It's
you know,
time
I
to
don't
drink
even want
water.
to describe it. I don't even want to describe
It's
it.
time to drink
It'll
water.
be a little surprise and I'll post it in fan art or something, I don't fucking know. We became quiet, and it looked like we'd arrived at Russell's. I wasn't sure why, but the atmosphere suddenly felt a little claustrophobic, so as soon as the door was unlocked, I got out of the car. Once we entered the shop, we saw Russell waving at us briefly before he turned back to face the one customer that he was talking with. I suppose that one was better than zero, at least. Ryan and I sat at the counter and talked to each other as we waited for Russell. What's wrong? Nothing. You'll have to try a little harder than that if you really want to lie about it. What are you now, the best liar in the world? As I finished saying that, the bear looked slightly uncomfortable. I was about to ask him if anything was wrong, but it seemed Russell had come to us. Sorry for the wait, I'll make your food right away. Awesome! Please do, I'm starving! Ryan? What is it? His body perked up a little and his tiny little ears were flickering. Was I just imagining things right now? I thought that the bear looked insufferable merely a second ago. Nothing, just forget it. And then his eyes looked a little sad again. However, this time, it was more of an empathetic look. He must be thinking that I was feeling down right now. I haven't told you about Clyde's and my adventure last night yet, have I? No, you haven't, and I assume that nothing bad happened. No, nothing bad happened, you silly! It was fun! It looked like Russell was also listening to us while doing his work behind the counter. I could see that his eyes were moving along as Ryan spoke. If we ever go there again, you should check out the castle's left wing. We found a greenhouse. It was really old and overgrown, way out of control, but it was gorgeous. An indoor greenhouse. Wow. That's strange. You sound exactly like Clyde. Anyway, deeper inside we found a library, and that was where the fun began. Clyde must have loved that. I can totally imagine his reaction. You're so right! I'm trying to do this thing where, like, Ryan is the emotionally stable friend, and Joel is the depressed friend. Ryan continued the story, and he was struggling to keep a straight face. I kept listening, and honestly, his laughter was way funnier than the story itself. You should have seen how he looked when he found out that the books were empty! You're serious? Yeah, he thrashed around the place and all the pages were blank. A library full of empty books. Surely that was strange. I couldn't help thinking that it was akin to what Patrice and I found. We went outside and found a church. Yeah, I heard that. Patrice told me. I'm surprised that you got him to venture in there with you. You did the unthinkable. Hold on. Slow down a bit. You said that you found a church. Did you happen to figure out what religion it was for? I am pretty sure that it was Christian. Alright, that's really useful. It helps to narrow down the period that the castle was built in. Felt a little embarrassed. It was part of my own culture, and yet I didn't think of it. I'm definitely not going to become a historian. Narrowed down? Shouldn't it simply just be year 0? Ryan, I know you did not just say that. I know you did not just say that. No ma'am, no ham, no turkey. I know you did not just say that. Hearing that, I'd immediately stop feeling bad about myself. In fact, I had resist the urge to laugh even. You stupid bear. Even I know that was the year Jesus was born. Oh, so Christianity didn't start then? I couldn't hold the laughter anymore. Of course not! Imagine all the churches popping up out of nowhere exactly at the same time. Religion took time to slowly spread from one place to another. That means the period the castle was built in depends on its location. My guess it was Victorian era. As Bull added that, he slid to us the plates of our breakfast, and Ryan was visibly drooling. I see. Good thing we have the internet these days, so I'll never have to remember or think about any of that. I shall consume the toast. Thank you very much. I was a little concerned when I saw that he was shoving the whole thing into his mouth in one go. Careful with that. He looked so happy as he chewed, and he was making noise as a sign of his appreciation of the meal. I couldn't help letting out a chuckle. Did he really think that I could ever understand him like that? Get him some water, Russell. I think he may choke on that. Nah, We can't tell what you're saying, Ryan. The bear then began to swing his arms in an attempt to convey what he said, but to no avail. I just watched him as I, too, ate my food. Felt like I was watching one of those dumb videos on social media. That was so good. Was it? Did you really enjoy the food? It sounded like you were dying. I did! It was amazing! You're unbelievable. Bring us the bill, Russell! As if Russell knew, he placed it right between Ryan and me. With gleams in our eyes, the bear and I reached for the paper. What are you doing? He put on the insincere smile that one would find on a customer service agent's face, even though he wasn't one. Oh, you know exactly what I'm doing. I returned the favor by putting one on my face, too. I'm paying for this. Let go right now. I'd rather tear the bill and eat it than let you pay. Both of us were pulling the paper, trying to overpower each other. It was a struggle not to shred it in the process. Can't you just go Dutch? We turned down the bull's suggestion with little to no delay. I've had enough of this. Ryan pulled me by the hand and lifted me off the ground to have complete control of the situation. Hey, that's unfair. Put me down. I will. Right after I get a look at the bill. I crumpled up the paper and clenched it in my hand, knowing that he wouldn't hurt me by prying it open with force. Oh, come on, don't be like that. You know that you can't keep doing this, don't you? I can't? How come? The bear sighed, and as he gave it a thought, he kept me in place dangling in the air. I felt kind of offended by how easy it was for him to hold me still like that. Honestly, I have no idea what you're talking about, though, if it'll make you feel better. I guess this one time I'll let you pay for your side, okay? The bear put me down on my seat, and I showed him the bill. All that fuss, just for you guys to do what I suggested. Ryan and I chuckled at the bull's remark as we paid for our meals, and also gave the cook an extra tip for the commotion we caused. Have a good day. See you at lunch. We left the shop and returned to Ryan's car. For the remainder of the ride, we had nothing much other than some casual conversation. What's your plan today? I have one class that's about to begin, and then another one after lunch. I haven't really made up my mind yet whether or not to attend. Need some time to organize some thoughts, Ryan winked at me and gave me a nudge. Stop saying it like that. I'm not thinking about him. Today, if nothing changes, Patrice, Dylan, and I are meeting up at the gym for our routine. Oh? Now that he said that, I wondered why I haven't thought of going there myself rather than just listening to his stories about the place. What? Are you interested? The bear giggled and he looked excited. It's about time that you finally came along, eh? Honestly, I couldn't really see myself attending the place. However, it'd be a lie to say that I had no interest at all. You know that I'm not the type to move around much. It's not like I'm trying to convince you to exercise more. I sighed and went silent. For some reason, I was annoyed by the way he was behaving. The car was parked and I didn't talk to him at all after that. Taking my bag, I moved myself out of the vehicle. Ryan got my attention before I could leave him. Oh, come on, I was only joking. Turn around to look at him, who's still inside the car. I'm sorry. I heaved yet another sigh and then turned around again to head for the building. The bear yelled as I walked away. Have a good day, see you at lunchtime. I really couldn't stay mad at him long. Sure, see you later, you dork. Without turning around, I yelled back at him, and then with a smile, I stepped into the building. Fuck. I got to the second floor, and before entering the classroom, I gave my phone another quick glance. Team Patrice still hadn't responded to my text. I really hope that the tiger wasn't messed up by the trip we had yesterday. After all, he did go out of his way to accommodate my desire to explore the castle. I'd never forgive myself for our little journey turned out to be something that traumatized him. Oh, what was I thinking? It wasn't like wallowing in self-pity was going to do anything to improve the situation. I pinched myself on the cheek to snap myself back to reality as I entered the classroom. Liam attended the same class as I did this morning, and I didn't hesitate to approach him. As soon as he saw me, his expression ranged from happy to confused and to an extent even uncomfortable.
Joel, what are you?
I took his hand, dragged him to a corner, and then whispered the words into his ear. I found a knife and it looked exactly like yours. The lynx moved back a little. The information I revealed must have been staggering to him.
Where did you find it?
In the castle, obviously.
And where is it now?
Clearly he wanted to see the knife. I hinted at my bag and the lynx just quietly rummaged through it. Upon seeing the item, he froze for a second there. Don't pull it out.
Of course not!
The lynx then opened his bag to look at his knife. Seeing his gaze alternate between the two bags, I concluded that the two knives indeed looked the same. Why do you have the same knife? Where did you get it from? Don't tell me that you'd actually been in that castle before. Liam shook his head at my last question, however, that didn't really answer the rest of my questions.
Would you mind telling me about the knife a little more? In return, I'll answer your questions.
It looked like he was serious, and I'd never seen him being serious. Fine, I'll tell you. The classroom's door was open, and our professor came into the room. The timing couldn't have been any worse.
Is this class important to you?
Yes, that means I'll have to pay attention. I'm free after this class, though. Can we discuss then?
Sure.
Temporarily, we had to part ways, and as I preferred sitting in the front to pay attention. However, the lynx found it difficult to focus his mind unless he was in the back row. It didn't look like he cared about the class anyway, though. Regardless, this is one of my division's mandatory subjects, so I really should start focusing my mind now, and it looked like I was failing to do so as I couldn't really concentrate. I guessed it was because I couldn't stop thinking about what we just talked about. Good thing I'd already had a good grasp on the subject, otherwise it'd have been much more difficult to learn anything about the current topic with such a fuzzy mind that I was having right now. An hour went by and the lynx came back to me once the majority of the classmates had left the room.
Let me take another look at that knife. I really want to see it up close.
I tried to reach for my bag, but I snatched it before his hands could land on it. Are you stupid? We can't be flashing a weapon inside the school. Let's get some privacy first. He gave a groan of dismay and used his phone to check the time.
The canteen should be pretty empty at the moment. If we hurry, we should be able to have the place to ourselves for some time.
The location he chose felt a bit too open for my liking, however, I complied for the sake of efficiency. I suppose we'll need to go there eventually anyway. He led the way and I sighed as I followed him. It wasn't like I had a choice, since I too wanted to learn more about his side of the story.
Great, looks like it's just the two of us here.
Liam took the knives out of our bag and laid them side by side on the table. The two items looked identical to me. There was no doubt they came from similar origins, if not the same origin.
I can't believe that. What they said is actually true. Alright, now could you tell me about the place you found it in? It's time for a story. Please?
This is a serious matter. Stop messing around. Found it last night with Patrice while we were investigating a church outside the castle. What?
I looked everywhere for a clue, and it was just sitting there, outside of all places.
I found other things too, but they were
what?
a little, I stopped in my tracks and thought back to what I'd seen and how I'd felt them. Moving shadows and the feeling they were telling me stuff. How would I ever explain either of these to anyone?
Speak faster.
You're going to think I'm crazy, but it felt like they were trying to give me the knife as a gift.
Who? Give me a name. Stop being vague.
I suppose there wasn't much I could lose. Taking a deep breath, I told the lynx everything that I'd encountered, and surprisingly, he didn't interrupt me at all. He was listening attentively to everything I said, and there wasn't even a single laugh at any part given my ridiculous tale.
God damn, this is worse than I thought.
You believe what I'm saying?
Of course I do! I'm probably, literally, the only person here who wouldn't think that you've lost your mind. Anyway, I need you to confirm that you really saw what you're telling me.
I'm pretty sure I did, I think.
Try not to recall it as a memory, but as an experience. Use your feelings. Don't bother with the imagery. How did you feel then when you saw it?
Following the instructions that he gave me, I suddenly felt an unnatural surge of emotions that I couldn't really put into words. Thought that it was weird. Seeing such things, I should supposedly be scared, however, I wasn't. I was worried, calm, and oddly enough intrigued. There was also a bad feeling that something was yelling at me and telling me to run, yet I just couldn't. It was as if I was drawn to it. Something was pulling me, even though no one was touching me. I was so sure, and I still am, that when I just walked, something was taking me there, but why? How am I so sure about this? Link started to giggle, and I was snapped away from my train of thought. Just now, I felt embarrassed and glared at him. You asked!
I did. No worries, I'm not laughing at you. It just reminds me of my first time. She also laughed then, and now I can see why.
Your first time? Students began to enter the canteen, and Liam swiftly concealed all of our potentially suspicious items we had in the open by returning them where they belonged.
It's a long story, and it's not exactly related to what we're talking about at the moment. Maybe I'll tell you some other time.
Well, now it's time you tell me about your knife.
I found it outside of my house. It came with a mask and a note telling me to learn more about the two items. Quite uninteresting compared to your version. I hate to repeat things, so I'll go into details when everyone else is here.
Oh, shut up. I know you love talking about this stuff.
Not the people who think I'm crazy, though. Other than that, you're right.
So, what else do you know? The knife I found somehow fixed itself overnight. Do you happen to know anything about this occurrence?
Honestly, no. This is the first time I've heard something like that happening. I'm sure that the item is cursed, however, I don't really know what it can do.
Cursed so it's dangerous? Now I regretted taking the knife with me even more. Why did you have to say that? And how could he be so nonchalant about saying it?
I actually didn't want to bring up this next part I'm about to say, but if anyone is going to actually hear it, I'd rather have it be you. Although I'm still unsure what cursed objects can do, I know that not all of them are necessarily bad. One could observe their behavior, see what they did, and then return any of the items to where they found if the result was bad.
Somehow I felt a little better after hearing what he just said. However, I didn't think that the goal he had in his mind when he shared the information with me was to calm me down. It's that simple?
Yeah, once you return the item to where it belongs, you're pretty much free from the curse.
But that means I'll have to go back there then. I freaked out a little and Lynx just shrugged. He probably wanted to drag me to the castle with him again anyway.
Who knows? Maybe you won't have to return it. The cleaver I have hasn't done anything yet, and since yours is basically the same item, you can relax.
You made it sound so easy to just relax. We're gonna stop a bit for the ad. Want to break from the ads? No ads dance. Made it sound so easy to just relax. There was no way that someone would stay calm in such a situation. All the details had just escalated so quickly that I was simply completely overwhelmed. I sulked on my seat as I thought about the mess I'd put myself in, all just because I was curious.
I need to go for a moment. We can talk somewhere later if that'll help you.
Okay, thanks. I waved at him with the little energy I had left, as I was totally spent after that talk. Usually, now that I thought about it, there was one more thing that was still bothering me, and seeing him leave made me realize I'd act now. Wait! I yelled to get his attention from a distance. Link stopped moving, and seemingly without turning around to face me, he was waiting to hear what I had on my mind. How did you learn all this? And why am I so inclined to believe you rather than doubt it?
That really takes me back.
Seemed he was feeling nostalgic, however I couldn't care less about that at the moment. Liam!
You need to be patient. I swear that I'll tell you whether or not you're a good candidate.
That sounded even stranger. What does that mean? Liam, come back! He ignored my voice and slipped himself into the crowd of students that were entering the canteen and disappeared without a trace. I was going to chase him, but my phone was blasting its tune and stopping me from doing so. I forgot that I'd turned it off silent mode so that I'd notice immediately when Patrice responded to my text. However, it seemed he decided to just make a phone call. Hello? It was only natural that I answered the call. After all, I wouldn't want to appear as if I was ignoring him. Hey, sorry for the sudden call. Tried texting, but you weren't responding. Quickly, I glanced at my notifications, and he was right. How did I not notice? Are you busy right now? Something happened, and I wanted to let you know. At first, I was worried, but now it sounded like he couldn't retain the control of his excitement. No, not anymore. I'm in the canteen right now. Great, I'm nearby. I'll see you soon. He ended the call, and I immediately exhaled. There was just too much stuff going on right now. However, all the stress I was having was swept under the rug as soon as I saw the tiger among the crowd of people. He looked eager, and he was smiling. I couldn't help finding the sight really cute, and I was quite giddy when he approached me. we're gonna leave off here tonight. Yeah. Well, stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.